Hi everyone. As I record this, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm pretty tired, but I wanted to, I just got back from my very first midnight screening of The Room, and I wanted to record some thoughts on it. For those of you who aren't familiar with this motion picture, The Room is a film that was made in about 2003, was written and directed and produced by an individual by the name of Tommy Wiseau. And the plot involves his character, a bank executive of some kind named Johnny, and his live-in girlfriend Lisa, and how Lisa is bored with the fact that he treats her so well and is very, very nice and provides her with everything that she wants, but is not particularly exciting, I suppose, and has an affair with Johnny's best friend Mark. Meanwhile, there are many other characters that come in and out of this story as Lisa bounces back and forth between these two guys trying to figure out what to do, and makes false accusations and generally acts very manipulative, and eventually things come to a head at like this birthday party that everyone throws for Johnny. The reason why this movie is so notorious is because it is very, very badly made. The dialogue is, not great. And some of the acting is not very good at all. Most especially, the worst person in the entire movie, of course, is the director. If I had to guess, I'd say English is his second language, and he wrote the original screenplay in his first language and then had someone else translate it into English and then learned his lines phonetically. He knows generally what he's saying, but not specifically, it seems, because he emphasizes his words in all the wrong ways. Meanwhile, there's a lot of technical weirdness going on. There's several scenes that take place on the roof of the apartment building that look like they were green screened, with a standard shot of San Francisco in the background. At one point, the camera pans between two characters, but the background moves at a different speed from the characters, in relation to the camera panning. This movie has become the contemporary version of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is there will be midnight screenings and screenings, for fans of the film. People have seen this movie many times and actively interact with the film and react to it. I never went to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show when it was, at one of those midnight screenings, but, people will dress like the characters, reenact scenes as they are being shown, and no one minds this because it's a special type of movie. It's not like everyone's saying keep quiet, we're trying to watch the movie. Listening to the audience react is part of the fun. And since I knew people would be throwing plastic spoons around based on what I read, I sat in the very, very back of the theater and then waited until the lights went and the movie was about to start before moving up just behind, everyone else. And I had really good seats because the guys sitting right in front of me were very, very, very vocal about the thing. And every time a scene, I guess they had to reuse props a lot for different, for the scene. It's like there's this apartment that Johnny and Lisa live in, and so their living area, is used a lot as a location. And it seems that they had this, like a framed picture of a spoon that they would either hang on the wall or sit on a nearby table just to sort of have some things in the shot aside from just bare furniture. So whenever this inexplicable photograph of a spoon would come up, people would yell out "spoon, spoon," and throw plastic spoons, and they would throw them hard enough so that it would sail over the heads of everyone sitting in front of them. But I didn't want to take the chance that I'd have plastic spoons landing on my head throughout the entire movie, so I sat behind all that stuff. There are a lot of really funny moments, some of which I didn't understand. I asked the guys afterwards, why were you yelling at that one close-up of Lisa? What was so special about that? And, there's all kinds of different things that they're reacting to. They react to characters suddenly popping up without any sort of explanation, with no introduction that hadn't been part of the story before. There's this shot that they use a couple times, which basically pans along the entire length of the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, and it starts at one side, and as it moves slowly from one side to the other, kind of following the traffic as they're traveling that direction, everyone in the theater is going, go, 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 and the camera finally reaches the other side, and they go, yeah! And then at a later point, they're panning across the Golden Gate Bridge, and everyone's going, go, 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 but there's a cut to another scene before they reach the end, and it's just like, oh! I don't know, how they come up with the ideas, but everyone sort of seems to be on board there. A lot of people are doing the exact same thing. Oh, and there's also the game of catch, in which point, several times throughout the movie, someone will pull out a little football, and the characters will stand around or walk from one place to another tossing the football around, but it isn't like they're playing a real game of catch. They're only just standing a few feet away from each other. So guys in the theater will get up and run to various points of the theater and then throw little footballs around during those scenes. I mean, there isn't any talking going on then, so it's not like anyone's missing out. But they did talk quite a lot and yell quite a lot over dialogue scenes, so I couldn't understand half of what people were saying. And my favorite moment in the whole movie was when Lisa's mother is hanging out and giving her daughter advice. You should stay with Johnny, But at one point they actually walk into the living room, and there's two other people there. And the mother says, what are these characters doing here? They don't live here. And I thought it was funny that she should use the word characters instead of people. What are these characters doing here? Like, I did the exact same thing, because they don't actually live there. They just walked in and started hanging out in this apartment, even though it isn't theirs. So I got a little bored with the movie after a while, but I'm glad I went. It was nice to have that experience. Wish it was cheaper, though. It's a lot of money to pay for a movie that isn't supposed to be any good at all. But again, it's about the experience of being there with everyone who's just like yelling and having fun with that. So anyway, the tie, by the way, my brother is a fan of the movie. He said, go see the movie, but wear a tie around your head like a bandana. And one of the characters in the movie, after getting drunk, wears a tie. It's just one of those things that everyone does at these screenings. So anyway, I'm going to bed. Just wanted to tell you about that. I promised him a report on what I thought of the movie. I haven't seen Troll 2, but apparently it's kind of like that. Troll 2 is kind of like the same situation. I don't know. But they have cult followings, the really bad ones. I mean, they have to be super, super bad. But not like bad as in like, this is boring. They're all like, I don't know. I'm rambling now. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.